and features Matt Harvey. The Mets are offering a 3 for $33 package, 3 tickets for $33, along with $15 credit off food and beverage. All fans will receive a Matt Harvey t-shirt presented by Old Dominion Freight Line. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Harvey. Drive Around the Majors brought to you by Cadillac. Adrian Gonzalez making history. 5 home runs in the first 3 games of the season. Nobody's ever done that before. Albert Pujols, career homer number 521, tying in with Ted Williams, Frank Thomas, and Willie McCovey. Pretty good company. Scott Kazmir, 7 innings, 1 hit, 10 strikeouts in the A's 10-0 win over the Rangers. Matt Harvey making his way in from the bullpen. Harvey versus Strasburg, Mets and Nats. First pitch coming up from our nation's capital.
Who said that number? I mean, I'm lucky that I never was hurt, so I never had to sit out like that, but almost 600 days out of your career, gone.
Geico starting lineup for the Mets this afternoon, and it's the same unit that's gone out there each of the first 2 games, except today the pitcher, Harvey, will bat 9th. Wilmer Flores will bat 8th. Mets hitting just 167 as a team with 1 extra base hit through the first 2 games of the season.
I think the greatest part of Strasburg's year last year that he took the ball 34 times. 14 wins, 9 of those came here at Nationals Park, and 242 is the big number of strikeouts, tied him with Johnny Cueto for the league.
That's bragging rights right there when you're a strikeout king. And we'll take a look at the Nationals defense. That's always brought to you by Coors Light. Clint Robinson gets the start. They left-handed slugger. More left-handers in the lineup today against Harvey. Same cast of characters on the infield. And we got the Jose Lobaton behind the plate. Another left-hand swinger for Mr. Harvey.
It's hard to believe it's been 5 years since Steven Strasburg burst on the scene with those 12 magnificent starts that he made in 2010. Began the 2011 season, made 5 starts, blew out his elbow, and was shut down.
#1 pick in the country in 2009.
Strasburg now 26 years old, so he and Harvey are the same age. They were selected a year apart in the draft. Strasburg in 09 and Harvey in 2010. And they hooked up once before. That was 2 years ago at Citi Field. It was a Mets kind of a night. Harvey outpitched Strasburg that game. Ike Davis and Lucas Duda both took Strasburg deep, and the Mets won 7-1.
And you know what's interesting about Strasburg for me, being a fan of the game, I'll always, until he changes that, I'll always remember the start he did not make, other than the starts he's made when he didn't make it in the postseason in 2010.
Curtis Granderson leads off, 0 for 7 to start the year, and Strasburg's first pitch fastball in for a strike, and we're underway. 95 on that first pitch. When Strasburg first came up, he was throwing 98, 99 routinely. Doesn't do that much anymore, and that's mostly by design. He's got much better control than he did when he first came up.
And 95 is plenty. But you got an electric hook like he does.
And a great changeup.
Last year, just 1.8 walks per 9 innings to go with 10.1 strikeouts per 9. And Granderson fouls off the fastball at 96, 1-2.
Interesting. He's got a little life that's working away from Granderson, almost like he's throwing a two-seamer here early in the ball game.
It's a chilly afternoon. It's 48 degrees. Gray overcast skies. Not a very big crowd gathered at National Park for this marquee matchup. 1-2 from Strasburg, and Granderson watches wide. 2-2.
He's got a little bit of that running fastball. Runs away from the lefties, Ron.
Sold out the first night. What'd you have? Almost 26,000 last night.
And Granderson manages to get a piece of the curveball.
How did he not break his bat on that swing? This curveball ties him up. That is an emergency right there.
And rattled Jose Lobaton, who's going to get a moment here to try and shake it off. Ronnie, I would imagine on a day like today, it's chilly, it's overcast, you got 2 power pitchers on the mound. Not a great day for the hitters.
No, it is not, because when you're out there pitching, you're the warmest player on the field. See Strasburg, like Zimmerman last night, no sleeves.
Of course, unlike Zimmerman, who's from Wisconsin, Strasburg grew up in the warm weather climes in San Diego.
Another theme to this series, another good long at bat here by Curtis Granderson.
For a leadoff walk in the first inning of the opening day game. Threw a couple of walks in that game before going 0 for 4 last night. And he takes the curveball at his feet, and it's a full count.
There's a lot of talk yesterday's game. Of course, the bases loaded. Granderson on the 3-2 took that pitch and struck out against Jordan Zimmerman. 1, I think the pitch was out of the strike zone, but 2, Zimmerman never walks anyone. You have to be aggressive there.
8th pitch of this opening at bat coming from Strasburg to Granderson. And he walked him. So Granderson, for the second time in 3 games, starts the day with a walk. And you can tell by the reaction from the crowd, there's a larger percentage of Met fans here. A lot of Met fans made the trip specifically to see Matt Harvey start today. And David Wright gets a hand as he comes to the plate.
More blue sprinkled amongst the red here.
David's 1 for 8, batting again in the 2-hole today, which has been his home early in the season.
And this is only the second time that David has come up with a runners on base in the 2 since being inserted in that 2-hole.
David 4 for 15 lifetime against Strasburg. And he breaks his bat. Ugla makes the out at second. And Desmond's relay in time for the double play. 4-6-3 and 1 shattered bat, 2 out and nobody on.
Running fastball in. Watch it bore in on his hands. And that's a strike, too. And you see how David recoiled? When you get your bat shattered like that, folks, it's like you're like a self-propelled howitzer. It's like a kickback. I mean, look at him. It just drives you back.
And that probably helped the Nationals turn that double play.
Yeah, he couldn't get out of the box.
It almost knocks you off your feet. It knocks you on your back, on your back leg.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Lucas Duda, 3 for 8 with a couple of RBIs through the first 2 games. And a home run against Strasburg in that game that Harvey pitched 2 years ago. In fact, Duda had 2 home runs in that game. He hit one later against Drew Storen, and so did Ike Davis in the same game. Hit one off Strasburg and one off Storen. And a fastball in for a strike, 1-1. Mets are still looking for their first home run of the season. And they've got their leading home run hitter at the plate. Strasburg gave up 23 home runs last year in 215 innings.
Good cut.
Swing, 1-2.
That was Lucas's pitch right there. Out over the plate and down. Good, healthy cut. Just missed it. Got to get on top. Focus on top of that ball.
Well, we saw in the first game of the series 2 successive fastballs thrown by Scherzer in that bat. Let's see if he counters with a changeup or breaking ball here. He does.
Throws the curveball down, and it's 2-2. Strasburg had his Tommy John surgery at the end of his rookie year in September of 2010. Came back, made 5 starts the next year, and it was 2012 that he came back and was held back and shut down in September before the Nats went to the postseason.
Yeah, I made a mistake earlier. I said it was 2010. It was 2012 that he did not make that start against the Cardinals.
Wound up being a start that Edwin Jackson made instead, and it might have cost the Nats a chance to move on in the postseason. We'll never know. Duda takes ball 4, and the Mets have their second walk of the inning against Strasburg, who averaged fewer than 2 walks per 9 innings last year.
Well, it's cold weather. It's obvious right now, Ron, the 3 changeups that Strasburg has thrown, he hasn't got command with them. He's missed badly in the dirt.
So here's Michael Kadire. 1 for 8 to start his Mets career. 2 for 9 in his career against Strasburg. Strasburg at 96 pours in a strike.
Kadire had a great spring. He's off to 2 games. He's just tough getting out of the gate for him right now. He's struggling a little bit up there. He's trying to work up the middle.
Hit 1 ball hard last night right at the third baseman. And he lines that one up the middle for a base hit. Duda pulls in at second, so the Mets have their first hit off Strasburg. 2 walks and a hit through the first 4 batters.
Get him going. Watch this swing, folks. Belt high, level, top half of the ball. You're going to see a lot of that this year. Beautiful swing.
That's how you win batting championships, as Kadire did 2 years ago.
Doesn't mean too much, but Strasburg had a tough start against the Mets in spring training. Struggled.
Well, Daniel Murphy here hit .322 on the road last year. 3rd highest amongst major league qualifiers.
1 for 8 to start this season, and he flies one along the left field line. Robinson, not an experienced outfielder, comes over to get it. 2-hands it, and that retires the side. Mets get some base runners but can't score. Matt Harvey takes the mound when we come back. A couple of changes. Clint Robinson gets just his second career major league start playing left field. I'll say Lobaton, his first appearance of the year, catching Strasburg today. And there he is, back where he belongs in the center of the diamond.
That's his 2013 season. 36 starts in his career, a modest 12-10 so far in Harvey's young career.
You saw that number at the bottom, the whip from 2013, 0.93. That is off the charts. Michael Taylor leads off, 2 for 8 to start the season. And Harvey's first pitch in nearly 20 months is a fastball in for a strike at 96 miles an hour.
That's the easiest 96 miles an hour you'll ever see.
That's what we saw all spring, Ron, was his very easy, effortless motion delivery.
His command was just phenomenal in spring. For anybody, much less a guy who hadn't pitched in a year and a half.
I was so surprised that his first game in spring training, not only did he pitch under control, he didn't overdo it. He threw a 3-2 hook with someone on base early in the game. He had all 4 pitches working. Maybe that's part of the 20-month rehab.
0-2 coming to Taylor. A little bit low. Listening to Harvey talk yesterday, he said, you know, when I made my first spring training start, I was rightfully nervous and had a lot of adrenaline pumping. He said now that that's out of the way, I think this game's going to be a lot easier from an emotional standpoint. I wonder whether that's true or not. Oh, got him. A beauty by Harvey for the first out.
Hello.
Took a little off run. Got him way out in front.
Well, it's been the same forever. If you got a hitter worried about the express, toss that spinner in there, no chance.
So 1 out and nobody on. And here is Yunel Escobar, 1 for 7 in the series. And Matt's fastball is hit foul.
97. That's what Terry Collins was saying before the game. He goes, I don't care what he says. He'll be throwing 97, 98 miles an hour in the first inning.
Well, the cold weather's got to work in his favor in that regard as well. Let's not getting too amped up. There's Jacob deGrom, who took a tough loss last night.
deGrom, Neese, and G went out to watch the bullpen of Harvey before the game.
Bounces that curveball, and it's 2-1. August the 24th of 2013 against the Tigers, the last time that Harvey took the mound. A little forearm stiffness, so just as a precaution, they sent him for an MRI, and he and everybody else was shocked to find out that he had a tear in his ulnar collateral ligament, and waited 2 months to decide whether to have the surgery or not, and finally did in October of 2013. Wanted to come back last September, but was advised not to, and finally was convinced not to, and there's a strike, 3-2 to Escobar. And what that's done is given Harvey a much longer rehab than your normal returning Tommy John guy.
Which I think in the future could be new protocol for especially starting pitchers, maybe not relievers.
I mean, the upshot for Matt is that because he was amping up last September to try and come back, even though he knew he probably wouldn't, he had a pretty normal winter. Shut it down at the end of the year and then did his winter protocol the way he would have if the surgery had never happened. And started spring training right on time. He walks Escobar, and the Nats have a 1-out base runner. Today's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. Through the first 36 starts of his major league career, those are his numbers. Impressive up and down the board. And now he'll face Bryce Harper with 1 out and 1 on. Harper's been swinging the bat the best of any of the Nationals through these first 2 games, 4 for 7, including a home run on opening day.
Oh, nice
first
curve.
Pitch curveball gets Harvey ahead.
David Wright much the whole series here. You look at the curveball in the dirt, looking for a first pitch fastball. We're hip to you. David Wright way in the hole at third base.
And Harper swinging at the high fastball, 0-2.
Let's do it right by him. We've seen that in this entire series. If you can take a fastball and run it away from Harper, he needs that ball middle of the plate in.
Did have one hit to left field yesterday against DeGrom. Harvey ahead 0-2. And just to lay off that one, a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, like the Mets, the Nationals don't have a lot of team speed, especially with Span out. And you'd think that in these kind of games against big pitchers, try to do some of the little things, steal some bases.
Escobar only 1 stolen base last year as Harvey keeps an eye on him.
And to test d'Arnaud. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. Sure it'll happen with the Braves.
Harper 0 for 7 in his career against Harvey. The first guy on the lineup that Matt has faced before in a regular season game. 1-2. Struck him out. Just blew it right by him. Second strikeout for Matt Harvey.
Didn't even have to do anything special, Keith.
Gary, you were right about that. This is the train already left the station. You're a little tardy.
So 2 out. And now last night's hero, Ryan Zimmerman, who hit a 2-run homer in the first inning for the only 2 Nationals runs, made a couple of splendid defensive plays as well. And he takes off the plate for ball 1.
Well, if you're watching the game last night and you're Matt Harvey, you have to say to yourself, if I can pinpoint that fastball away on Zimmerman right now, it's a pitch he can't handle.
Rom tried to show one inside, and it didn't come back. And Escobar just got himself back to the bag.
Pretty good move here from Matt Harvey. He's got quick feet for a big man.
Hardly any lead at all from Escobar there.
Keeping it away from Zimmerman, 2-0.
Well, it was pretty apparent last night that Zimmerman's home run, the ball was inside corner, up, but looked really bad on out pitches outside corner last night from DeGrom.
You see those velocity numbers from Harvey's 2 years ago. There goes Escobar. The throw by d'Arnaud on a hop. Got him. Side retired. Travis d'Arnaud throws out his first base runner of the year. 2-4 on the caught stealing, and Matt Harvey with a good first inning. Welcome back. For free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of the New York Mets. First pitch hit out to left by Lagares. Robinson retreating and makes the grab. But Robinson, who played 10 games in his life in the outfield in 8 minor league seasons, and getting the start out there today, and the ball's found him twice already.
He's running very gingerly out there so far.
The only time hiding a guy in a certain position was when we were kids. You put the guy in right field. That's the only time it worked.
And even that,
yeah. Sketchy.
Often be the big play. But Lupus made the grab.
That's right. That's right.
Here's Travis d'Arnaud with 1 out, and he takes the fastball for a strike. d'Arnaud off to the best offensive start of any of the Mets, 3 for 7 with a couple of RBIs after not so great spring training. And Strasburg pours one over. 0-2. And d'Arnaud with a very defensive swing skims one foul. Keith, this can't be a fun day for anybody coming to the plate.
It's not that bad today. It's a little chilly. The wind is what really makes it difficult. Candlestick Park comes to mind, old Jerry Park in Montreal before they built Stade Olympique. This is tolerable. What happened right now, my hands are cold. So that's the one thing. You're up at the plate. You got to keep your hands warm, because if you get jammed right off the end of the bat, I'm telling you, you're going to have what they call bees in your hands.
Especially with these two guys on the mound.
Yes. So you're really focused on contact here. Good contact.
d'Arnaud in foul ground. Zimmerman's got room. And that's the second out.
I mean, that's the battle, isn't it? It's always between the hitter and pitcher who's going to dictate the at-bat. And in games like this, it's the pitchers who are dictating usually the at-bats.
It's always an advantage to the pitcher when it's cold weather. There's no question.
Well, certainly through the early part of this season, not just in this series, but across baseball, the trend toward a pitcher-dominated sport has continued. There have already been 16 shutouts in the first 3 days of the season.
Well, I played in 2 World Series. Ron, you won, and there was no third division, no extra tier of playoffs. It was freezing in both World Series. Boston was freezing, New York was freezing, Milwaukee and St. Louis was freezing.
Strasburg throws it right by Flores, and it's 1-1. Well, you see the numbers from last year. 8.1 runs per game, lowest in more than 30 years, and batting average lowest in more than 40 years. And the numbers just through the first few days of the season are down even further. In the air to center field. Taylor easing back and makes the catch. He looks very good out there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Side retired. Mets go down 1-2-3 against Strasburg. Harvey back to the mound when we come back. Home second inning with no score. Ryan Zimmerman back at the plate. He was left there when Yunel Escobar was caught stealing to end the first inning. Matt Harvey fanned 2 in that first inning and goes after Zimmerman with a breaking ball for ball 1. It'll be Zimmerman, then Clint Robinson and Ian Desmond for the Nats in the second. Zimmerman 3 for 8 against Harvey, including a home run. Matt has not given up many home runs in his big league career. In his 2013 All-Star season, 178 innings, only 7 home runs allowed.
Spectacular.
And in fact, he went the last 54 1/3 innings that season without allowing a single home run. Behind on Zimmerman now 3-0.
You give Zimmerman a hit sign here? I would.
Yes.
Definitely. Something middle in. He didn't, and he got it in.
It's probably on his own, I would think, right? Zimmerman,
yeah, you never know.
Years plus.
Some guys just don't like swinging 3-0. I didn't early in my career, and later I loved it.
3-1 from Matt. Popped it up. Flores out. Kadire in, and Kadire's got it. 1 out.
Funny, that pitch was almost a similar pitch that DeGrom threw yesterday that he hit out of the ballpark. Just had a little more on it.
Good swing. Under it. You know, one thing I noticed all spring, too, with this Met ball club that had such a good spring, and they needed to have one, was that they played very sound fundamentals. The best I've seen them fundamentally in a long, long time. They're working good as a group, cohesively. The Lexus Mets defense. That's going to be your crew right there. The newcomer Kadire. Flores playing really a very solid shortstop. And Darno off to the hot start behind the plate.
Clint Robinson at the plate, 30-year-old rookie. Had cups of coffee with the Royals and the Dodgers before he made the Nats out of spring training. There's a good changeup by Harvey, and he gets ahead 1-2.
Beautiful changeup.
They asked him what it would felt like to have a chance to make the team. He said, "I don't know. I've never been in the last week of camp."
This is only the second game he's ever started in the major leagues, and starting it at a relatively unfamiliar position. He dumps one over toward the left field line, and Kadire gets over to grab it for the second out. Well, we mentioned that Harvey and Strasburg had met once before. That was 2 Aprils ago at Citi Field on another cold day. And Harvey was dominant. 7 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. Got out of a bases loaded jam in the 7th inning to finish his day. And the Mets won the game 7-1. And the fans were left chanting, "Harvey's better."
Yes.
One of the great spontaneous chants we've had at Citi Field since it opened. Ian Desmond at the plate, 0 for 7 to start the year.
So Harvey's been pretty good with his fastball. You know he's throwing 95 plus, but his breaking pitches are a little off. The curveball's been the best. He has not been able to find the plate with his slider. And that's a good changeup.
It's the second good one in a row. So maybe he's got a feel for that. Ahead of it, getting the feel for his curve and slider. He has both.
Ahead on Desmond, 1-2. And he lines one down the right field line, and Desmond has his first hit of the season and the first hit against Matt Harvey. He pulls it at second base with a 2-out double.
Well, high ball hitter, Desmond, and away. This is down the outer half. Look at that level swing. And that's what makes you a good high ball hitter right there. A level bat. Don't drop that back shoulder. Ball ripped the opposite field.
So the Nats have a runner in scoring position with 2 down, and the number 7 hitter Dan Uggla, 1 for 7 to start the year. The Nats, through the first 2 games, 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. And Uggla looking to break that stretch against Harvey, against whom he is 1 for 3 in his career. And takes a strike. Mets will be going to Atlanta after the game today to face Uggla's former team. One of the 2 unbeaten teams in the major leagues. Hit down to third. White with a diving stop. Up and throwing. And Duda with a stretch comes off the bag. And Desmond will hold at third. Well, Wright saved a run with his dive. And then Duda doing his best.
That's probably going to roll a base hit.
Oh, I would think so.
I think Todd Titchener called Duda off the bag.
Yeah.
Boy, it looks like that right toe was still on there.
Well, we'll see if Terry Collins is going to challenge. You don't have to come out of the dugout to challenge.
Here we go, Keith. We got the shot here.
Well, we're kind of blocked.
Yeah, that toe may have been up in the air. And it does not appear the Mets are going to challenge. So it's an infield hit for Uggla. First and third and 2 out. And Jose Lobaton, the switch hitting catcher, comes up for his first at bat of the season.
And a nice save by David Wright.
Two good saves there. David hitting the floor to make sure that ball doesn't go down the line. But then Lucas with a great play, because if it gets by him at all, Desmond would have scored.
And Desmond came a little bit down the line, especially after Duda sprawled out there. And Lucas was alert enough to get up and make sure he didn't try to score. And the fastball off the plate. Now Harvey behind 2-0. He's got the pitcher Strasburg on deck. Strasburg, not a great hitter, but every once in a while can hurt you.
Lobaton is a good fastball hitter.
Harvey's paying attention to those runners on first base. Still hasn't found his groove. I don't believe right now, Ron. We're only in the second inning.
He didn't think he was going to be nervous. I could have told him he was going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Behind on Lobaton 2-0. And he fouls off the fastball 2-1.
The hardest part about coming back after this kind of rest, the first inning you're so pumped up, right? And then you get through there, and like a balloon with all the air, it's just like sucked out of you, and you got to get it going again.
A little adrenaline deficit in that second inning. Well, Matt's come back from 2-0 to get even on Lobaton, who's a switch hitter, who's a better right-hand hitter than left, just .219 lifetime from the left side. Played a lot last year because Wilson Ramos, as has often been the case, was hurt a good portion of the season. So Lobaton had over 200 at bats. First and third and 2 out. 2-2 to Lobaton, and a bouncer foul.
Kind of a defensive swing.
Those swings always scare me in the game the way it's played today, because with all the shifts, those half swings end up being base hits right where the third baseman usually is.
Well, look where David's playing over at third base. They're kind of those defensive swings, and David's in the hole. And next thing, that's why I say with 2 strikes, you can play the shift all you want. But when you haven't got power hitters up there, and Lobaton is not a power hitter, I think you got to kind of cheat back a little bit, because they're going to be more defensive with their swings.
Well, that's where the shifts have to get a little more sophisticated, not only in terms of a hitter's spray chart, but how it adjusts by count, how it adjusts by pitch and pitcher. Two coming. And misses, low and away, 3-2.
Well, we got the runner in the motion now at first base.
Well, you got the pitcher on deck. How do you approach this?
This will be a changeup or breaking ball, I bet, to Lobaton. There's the curveball.
Uggla set to run from first. And the curveball in there for a call, strike 3. Harvey docks it on the inside corner and gets himself out of second inning trouble. Nicely done. Third strikeout for Harvey. 30 years ago today. First game as a Met, and kids sent him home happy on opening day.
Where did it all go? I mean, the time. 30 years ago.
I can remember where I was on the dugout steps, the end of the dugout, towards the first base side, watching that one sail.
Matt Harvey's first at bat, and he floats one foul. Here's a fact about that home run that I just learned today, which I find stunning. Gary Carter, the first and still only player to hit a walk-off home run in his first game for a New York team.
Including, right.
Think of all the players who played for the Mets and the Dodgers and the Giants and the Yankees.
Brooklyn.
In New York, all of them. The only player to hit a walk-off home run in his first game for a New York team was Gary Carter on that opening day 30 years ago.
And you know, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you, because you were traded for Neil Allen.
That's true.
You know, there's so many ways I influence things.
All for the good. 1-2 to Harvey. And Matt takes the fastball for strike 3. First strikeout for Strasburg.
Question, Ron.
Yeah.
Cold day, you're pitching, and you got a hit. Are you less apt to swing because you don't want to? Do you get jammed, and all of a sudden you got the bees in your hand, or no?
I never thought like that. You know, you're going up there taking a good at bat. You never anticipate hurting your hands. Or I would never think that way. Now, as it happened, and you go, what was I swinging? What was I thinking about? Yes, but you go up there with the macho attitude, you're going to get a hit.
Right.
As Granderson takes a curveball for a strike. Granderson had a terrific at bat leading off the game. 8 pitches, drew a walk. Still looking for his first hit, but he's now drawn 3 walks in the first 3 games. Changeup from Strasburg, 1-1. Strasburg burst on the scene like a supernova in 2010. If you look at his numbers since the Tommy John surgery, they're good, but they're not maybe as great as everybody expected. He's 38-27 with a 3.03 ERA. Now, nobody's going to sneeze at that, but it's not the kind of overwhelming dominance that, for instance, Harvey has put up so far, or Jose Fernandez in their brief careers.
Well, there's all these right-handers that are trying to be the equivalent of Kershaw on the left side, right? Kershaw has blown everyone out of the water. Cueto's been real good. Chris Sale's been close at times, and others. Kluber had a great year last year, but Strasburg, Harvey, Fernandez, all these young guys, they want to be the right-hand equivalent of what Kershaw has done.
Granderson shoots one into right center for a base hit. Waited nicely on the curveball, and he's got the Mets' second hit of the day. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your Tri-State BMW centers. By Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. By Geico, over 75 years of savings and service. And by Tri-Honda. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. But Granderson has his first hit of the year. He's aboard for the second time.
A little bit of a hanging curveball there that he got up and over the middle.
David Wright, who shattered his bat and grounded into a double play his first time up. No score. We're in the third.
Keith, let me ask you a question. First time you're up, you get jammed, break your bat. If you're David, a veteran player, do you look in your next at bat? No. Okay.
If they get you a couple times in there, then you might want to be more inclined.
Okay.
But not one at bat.
We've seen so much of that over the last few years, especially early in games. Pitchers coming inside to David Wright.
Well, David has that ability to go to the opposite field, and he's got a nice little hole to shoot through. Ugla up the middle. Zimmerman having the hold the runner on first. Can set up a nice first and third situation. There you go, right there. That right side of the infield. I used to love to have that situation.
Gary, I think there's a feeling throughout the league that if you pitch against David Wright, you've got to pound him inside and make him think about the ball coming in on him before he can go away.
Another chance for a double play, but Desmond boots it Tries to hurry the throw, but not in time. Well, Ian Desmond, who led the league in errors last year, makes his third in this opening series.
Well, ball came up, stayed in front. And what are you going to do? Sometimes they get the bad hop.
So the Mets, who were able to cash in a couple of Ian Desmond errors on opening day, will try and do it again.
Well, Davis trying to stay out of a double play here. Winds up getting on the base.
So, 2 aboard for Lucas Duda, who had that big 2-run hit against Scherzer on Monday after a Desmond error, and he takes low and inside for ball 1.
Well, you should have had a 6-4-3 double play and in the dugout, Ronnie. Now you got to face possibly 2 guys to get out of the inning, the meat of the order.
Very similar to the first game, right, where the Mets got extra outs in an inning, were able to take advantage of it, and Duda was the main culprit in that with the 2-run single.
Lucas walked his first time up today.
He's missed 2 pitches right there in his happy zone.
You have to really keep your eyes on Lucas because he doesn't show a lot of emotion, and you just kind of subtly saw, gosh darn it, that was a pitch I should have had. Very stoic young Lucas.
Well, that's an interesting formulation, Keith. When you get a pitch early in an at-bat that you think you should have done something with, does it affect the remainder of your at-bat?
No, it doesn't, but you may not get another good one to hit like that. You know.
Now Strasburg ahead of him 1-2 with Michael Kadire on deck. And the curveball at his feet. And was he hit? He was, and the bases are loaded. So Duda gets hit on the foot. A single, an error, and now a hit by pitch, loading him up.
Just hit him right on that back toe.
Sets it up for Kadire.
So the Mets with a chance to break through against Strasburg. Bases loaded, 1 out, and Michael Kadire, was singled up the middle his first time up, gets his second at bat. And the Met fans here at Nationals Park starting to make some noise.
Well, let's see what Kadire does if he goes on the attack.
And he takes a fastball for a strike. Kadire 2 for 9 to start the year, looking for his first RBI as a Met. Strasburg had to work around trouble in the first inning, and he's found trouble again. And Kadire lines one over the glove of Oakland into right field. Granderson scores. Wright stops at third. Michael Kadire with his first Mets run batted in, and the Mets grab a 1-0 lead.
Well, there's your good hitting right there. Fastball down and away, first pitch.
Well, he gets ahead, but he doesn't panic, Keith.
Comes down and in. Didn't get it in enough, and that's just good hitting right there, Ron. Driving that ball the opposite field.
When you see a hitter hitting the ball the other way on a pitch that you throw down and in, to me it tells you the hitter was thinking that way the entire time, trying to hit the ball to the right side.
Steve McCatty, the Nationals pitching coach, out at the mound to talk to Strasburg, and the Mets once again able to cash in on a Nationals error. They did it twice on opening day, and they do it again, and now looking for more here in the third.
Really a Desmond error.
When you stand off the plate like Kadire is, and you throw an inside strike, look, you still got a lot of barrel of bat to work with on an inside corner strike when you're going the opposite way. Nicely done.
So now base is still loaded, still only 1 out. And here's Murphy, who flied out to left his first time up. And Murph chops one. They'll never turn 2. Can they get 1? No. As a run comes in, it's 2-0 New York. Just an infield chopper. And Murphy drives in a run to make it 2-0.
Well, there is the inexperience of Zimmerman at first base. A high chop. You got no business coming off the bag after it. It's got to be the second baseman's ball, and you hope to get the runner at first.
He must have been thinking he had to play at the plate. That's the only thing I can think.
Well, I think that's what he thought. If Strasburg was out of the way, he was going to throw it on the run home.
So now 2 runs are in after the error by Desmond, and Lagares with a chance with the bases loaded and 1 out. Mets trying to put a big number up against Strasburg, and Lagares fouls one off his leg.
Well, Desmond being Santa Claus again for the Mets. The 3 errors in this series, all 3 runs in the first game, and now this big inning here with the double play ball. They should have been in the dugout with the double play. 6-4-3, the inning over.
Duda now at third, Kadire at second, and Murphy at first with 1 out. And the breaking ball in for a strike. 0-2 to Lagares.
Well, here's what opened the floodgates. It's an up hop. And you can't, errors happen. Those are physical errors. They happen. But unfortunately for Desmond, there's 2 runs on the board again.
Well, it's a big hitter for Strasburg, trying to keep this game from getting away from him. And Lagares pops it up. That'll keep the runner at third. Infield fly rule is called. Zimmerman grabs it, and that's the second out.
Thinking about Desmond having a tough series here, a hit and with 3 errors. We don't really talk about it because it's impossible to quantify, but here's a guy that turned down $107 million. He's playing out this year. There's a lot of pressure to have a big year in your walk year, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out over the course of the season.
Very similar to his current teammate Max Scherzer, who turned down $144 million, had a big year with the Tigers, and cashed in at $210.
Took 18 wins to do it, though.
Here's d'Arnaud, fouled out his first time up, and Strasburg misses inside.
Well, the 2-out RBI, bases loaded. Those are big RBIs, the toughest ones to get. This is a huge at bat right here in this game with Harvey on the mound. You can break it open here.
d'Arnaud, the 8th man up in the inning.
I used to, I want to stay away from me, but for a hitter, you got a pitcher struggling, and you want to thrive in these situations. I always feel that the pitcher is the one with the men on bases loaded in trouble. Boy, you want to hit.
Why in the world would you want to shy away from you?
Well, don't start now.
1-1 to d'Arnaud. And Travis hits one out to center field. On comes Taylor a long way in. It drops for a base hit. Duda scores. Kadire scores. 4-0 New York. Travis d'Arnaud drives in a pair, and the Mets have put up a big number against Strasburg in the third.
It's a line drive in the newspaper tomorrow.
Right.
A good curveball, got on the end of the bat. You got to love those. Good hitters hit more line drives at people than bloops.
Keith, you made a great point when you're talking about the pitcher. His thought process with 2 outs is thinking, if I can get out of this inning, I'm all right. But if I give up a hit, I've really tilted the scales. And Strasburg gave up the hit.
Well, Strasburg should have been out of this inning after 3 batters. Instead, he's facing his 9th man in the inning, and 4 runs have scored. Wilmer Flores fly deep to center his first time, and that one trickles at the feet of Lobaton, but no advance.
There's only 1 earned run in this inning so far, right, Gary?
Right. Because
you can't assume the 2.
Double play.
You can't assume 2.
Right. 25 pitches already in this inning for Strasburg, most of them since the error, and that will shorten his day as well.
6 unearned runs scored by the Mets in this series.
Murphy at third, d'Arnaud at first, and Flores fouls off the fastball. 1-1. Well, Matt Harvey led off this inning and struck out. He's now on deck.
That'll be interesting to watch, a real long inning for him. I mean, you love getting all the runs, of course.
Granderson got it started with a base hit. Right hit would look like a double play ball that should have ended the inning, but Desmond booted it. A hit batsman. 3 hits later, 4 runs of scoring. And Flores bangs one down to third, a foul ball. 1-2.
Well, the Duda at bat was key for Strasburg in this inning. He had the advantage 1-2. DeLucas tried a curveball that hit him. That's a, Harvey had to get out of his little one with the 3-2 hook. Well, Strasburg had to get out of that inning with the hook himself, and he wasn't able to.
4 RBIs for d'Arnaud in this young season.
Had the big triple on opening day. Drove in the Mets' only run last night, and now 2 more today. 1-2 to Flores. And Wilmer gets tied up, takes strike 3 called, and the inning comes to an end. But not before the Mets put up a 4 spot and lead it 4-0 for Matt Harvey. A whole host of Met fans have come down to watch Matt Harvey's season debut. Today's game changer brought to you by T-Mobile. Talk about dominant beginnings to their careers. A lot of very similar numbers on both sides of that ledger for Doc Gooden and Matt Harvey.
Look at that whip for both.
Look at the wins, though.
In fact, Elias ran some numbers and found that since Doc Gooden's career, in their first 36 major league starts, only 2 pitchers have had ERAs as low as Doc's: Harvey and Jose Fernandez over the last 30 years. Marlins are hoping to get Fernandez back sometime around midseason, coming back from his Tommy John surgery.
In fairness to Doc, it was over so many more innings.
Strasburg sees 3 pitches and sits down, and Harvey, after that long inning, comes back with his 4th strikeout. This 3rd inning is presented by your local Tri-State Audi dealers and the uncompromised Audi A3 sedan. So Mets were batting for what, 15-20 minutes? What's your biggest concern going back out there on a cold day?
Well, I think for Harvey, this is not that much of a concern. Remember, he grew up in Connecticut. He's used to playing and pitching in this kind of weather, so that's not an issue. The issue, though, is for the manager. The manager has already said around 90 pitches, and if he has any kind of long innings or difficult innings, time between innings, that's going to factor in his decision later.
Now explain to me, why does that factor in? If you're not doing anything, how does that create a load or a stress?
I don't think it does create a load or stress, but I think for a manager having a talent like Harvey sitting on the bench for a long time, you can get stiff at times. But to me, it looks like Harvey's come out here with that time off a little bit, and he's relaxed a little bit. He looks like he's got control of the strike zone.
Now starting his 2nd time around the batting order, facing Michael Taylor, whom he struck out to start the 1st inning. 1-2 coming. And It's just off the plate.
Taylor thought it was a strike, was going to walk back to the bench. Only one who didn't think it was a strike was the umpire, Timmons.
That's a strike. Oh. That was a wicked pitch.
Probably the best slider he's thrown so far.
Ooh, that hurts. In a cold day.
Darno's tough. He shook it off. Shook his head. I'm fine.
Right off the center of the chest.
Saw him grimace there.
Curveball sits high, 3-2. Harvey's walked 1. He's given up 2 hits. Struck out 4 over the first 2 1/3. And he takes care of Taylor for the second time. 5 strikeouts through the first 10 batters for Matt Harvey. And we check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Well, Gary, I was speaking to Harvey yesterday. I asked him if there was a moment in his rehab where he said, you know what, now I'm back. And Harvey told me the second the surgery was done and I picked up a baseball for the first time. And he said, I'm not trying to be cocky or arrogant. That's not what that mentality is about. That was just the positive mentality I needed to get through what had the potential to be a very difficult process. And he actually pointed to that as the reason why he actually delayed the surgery a little bit after the initial diagnosis of a partially torn UCL. Harvey saying that he had to get to that point where he knew if he committed to surgery, he was going to be back. And once he had that surgery, in his mind, he was back already.
Well, I guess there's always a point where you feel you turned a corner.
Right can't make the reaching grab. And Escobar is aboard.
I don't know what Steve's saying through with Matt, though. I think you have to see this play to David's left, Keith, just off the end of the glove. Kind of skipped on him a little bit.
And as a third baseman, you always want to get anything you can in the hole to your left. It's a much more difficult, longer throw for the shortstop.
When you're thinking about your pitching mortality, because that's what is happening when you're going to get operated on, you got to really say to yourself, get almost psyched up that, okay, I'm going to be away from baseball. It's going to be an arduous, you used that word in the open today, journey, and you got to be up for it.
There's Bryce Harper. Well, it's an amazing thing, isn't it? The physical labor that you have to do to return from any kind of surgery is one thing, but the mental approach transcends everything.
Yeah. You know, there's mind games you got to play with yourself to be positive on those days where, you know, there's many days before you can actually pick up a baseball and play catch, something you've done your entire life.
I hope
after the surgery.
I hope that's not DMSO.
They don't use that anymore, Keith.
Some of the scenes of Matt Harvey's rehab. Hours and hours a day. There's a good fastball thrown by Harper, 1-2.
If you got some giddy up on a fastball, Harper cannot. He's blind up and away. That's just a lot of work going on.
Well, you know, we've seen it. Matt is certainly stronger than he was, and that's one of the things that comes out of rehab, too. All you're doing is working out. And Harper down swinging at a high fastball for the second time. 6 strikeouts in the first 3 innings for Matt Harvey. Puts up a 0 after the Mets give him the lead. 4-0 New York after 3. Fourth inning, Matt Harvey leads off a second consecutive inning. That's always a good sign.
All right.
He takes a strike from Strasburg. Harvey struck out to open the third, and then the next 5 Mets reached base, and they wound up scoring 4 runs against Strasburg. 3 of the 4 were unearned.
Should have hit 8th today. He would have made the last out of the inning. He wouldn't have had him leading off.
My head is swimming with all the possibilities.
Well, he's led off twice. If he hit 8th, he wouldn't have led off. He would have ended the inning. Cluttering up the Express.
Harvey broke his bat on that fastball away.
Gives us a chance to run out today's Verizon trivia question. The only 2 players to win a Gold Glove award at more than one position. This is a timely question because last night Ron was opining about Ryan Zimmerman, who's won a Gold Glove at third and looked great playing first base last night. And we were wondering if anybody had ever put together that combination.
I know one of them. I don't know the second.
So it turns out there are only 2 players who've won at multiple positions. Strasburg with the hesitation and then the lollipop, and he gets Harvey. Pitchers throwing to bases. It's an epidemic.
He throws a nice changeup over there.
If we want to make this game more appealing to youngsters, we've got to get these pitchers to not throw like youngsters when they get the ball back at them.
The guy can throw 97 from the mound, but 45 from the grass.
That's right.
1 out and nobody on. Here's Curtis Granderson, who's been a catalyst at the top of the order today. A walk and a base hit. Scored the first Met run. And takes a letter high strike. Well, Strasburg's interesting, isn't he? He was throwing 95, 96 early. Now he's mostly 92, 93. Pitch count up 60 for the afternoon. Matt Williams said he could go to 100 today. Granderson hits one well to center, but Taylor's got lined up. And that's the second out. So 2 out and nobody on. Now David Wright. David grounded into a double play in the first inning, and it looked like he had done the same in the third. But Ian Desmond booted his ground ball, and that opened the door for 4 Met runs. One of those runs was earned, but really, if you look at it, the Mets have scored 8 runs now in the season, and 7 of them are directly attributable to Ian Desmond errors.
David Wright's got an elbow protector on. Look at that. I did not realize that. I did not see it. It looks. I've never seen him with a protector on.
Looks like it's protecting more above the elbow.
Like a tricep more, huh? Oh,
that's a good looking curveball from Strasburg. 1-1.
Unfortunately, the horses got out of the barn already.
And
another one for a strike, and it's 1-2.
That's the curveball he wanted to throw to Lucas Duda. And painted 2 good ones against David.
Would he triple up?
I would go inside. What do I know?
That's what Lobatone's doing, and David able to fight it off. The Pirates and the Reds are in a rain delay for the 3rd straight day. They played till 1:45 in the morning last night.
That's in Cincinnati, right? That series.
Yeah. Joey Votto had a game-winning hit in the 11th after they had a 2.5-hour rain delay, and they came right back to play a 12:30 game today. They played into the 4th, and they've got another rain delay.
Votto had a big day yesterday. He drove in, what, 3-4 runs?
He drove in a key tying run. I know that late, and then the winning run.
Reds are 2-0 to start the year. 1-2 to right. And David again fouls off the fastball.
Well, they're an interesting team, the Cincinnati Reds, aren't they? Because they're a team that, if their core players come back and play the way they've played in the past, Votto, Phillips, Bruce, etc. Boy, you're talking about a team that could surprise some people. A lot of ifs, though.
David bloops one shallow center, and Ugla can't get to it. A base hit. So that was a hard-working at bat for David Wright, and he has himself a 2-out hit.
Gets jammed here, strong enough to muscle it out.
Well, the Mets have had some hits against Strasburg that have been less than well struck.
It's just interesting, though. He got ahead of David with 2 great sliders and never threw another one. Just threw 3 straight fastballs inside.
So now it's Duda, who walked in the first inning, and then behind in the count was hit in the foot by a curveball to help perpetuate the Mets' rally in the third. And they have the full shift on against Lucas. Duda hits one well to left center field. Over in the gap comes Taylor, and he runs it down to end the inning. A hit and 1 left. Middle of the 4th in D.C. Mets up 4-0. Now, which is a little better than we had here last night when it never got out of the 40s. Quite a ways from opening day when it was 76 at game time. Should see some warmer weather in Atlanta, where the Mets go tomorrow night to open their series with the Braves. Ryan Zimmerman leads off the home 4th and lifts one to right field. Easy for Granderson. 1 pitch and 1 out for Matt Harvey in the home 4th.
Well, there you have it.
Those numbers very similar to the ones that he put up 2 years ago as far as average velocity is concerned.
Well, remember, early in the game, he did not have command of his secondary pitches, Ron. So you're going to find your rhythm by when you're blessed with a blazing fastball. You can just find your lean on your fastball till you find your rhythm.
Well, with that Zimmerman 1 pitch, 1 out, he could use an inning though where he has, 6, 7 pitches in the inning.
Well, he had 57 pitches through 3, and on a day when, in Terry's words, he has a soft limit of 90. If he'd like to get through 6, he needs an easy 4th. Otherwise, it might be 5 and fly for Matt today. Clint Robinson flied out to left his first time up in his second major league start.
So for you folks at home, if Harvey were to have, let's say at the end of an inning, 88 pitches, you might not see him out there for the next inning.
Right. And that's going to be not just this start, but many starts. Robinson hits one well to center field, chasing Lagares back onto the warning track. He gets there. 2 out. Robinson, who hit 141 minor league home runs, looking for his first in the big leagues, but came up a little short.
Ball just ran away enough to get it towards the end of the bat. That was right in Robinson's wheelhouse, and forget it. You want to go up against this guy. He's going to make most of the plays. That's routine.
They'll make them look easy. So 2 out and nobody on just 5 pitches for Harvey, and now face Ian Desmond, who has one of the 3 hits against Matt today, a double to right, and he gets all messed up on a high fastball. 0-1. What a dreadful opening series for the Nationals shortstop. 3 errors leading to 6 unearned runs. Tests his counterpart at shortstop. Flores bounces one, and Flores contributes an error as Duda can't pick it.
Well, Flores here had time. Routine. Set yourself. Don't have to throw. No need to throw on the run. And Lucas, you got to use 2 hands. Use that throwing hand. Get that throwing hand in there. Kind of help yourself out.
So the Mets commit their 3rd error of the season.
And there goes the 7-pitch inning we were talking about.
Yep. And that's really, unless Uggla does something here, that's really the greatest damage of that error, is it might shorten Harvey's day. Uggla had an infield hit his first time up, and he hits another one hard, but this one right at right, and he gets the force to end the inning. So it's still a fast inning. 8 pitches for Harvey to get him through the 4th. He's got a 4-0 lead. Have the breakdown of Matt Harvey's return to the mound on Daily News Live, presented by Citi, today at 5 p.m. only on SNY. Let's answer our Verizon trivia question. We asked which 2 players won Gold Gloves at multiple positions, and the 2 were Placido Polanco and Darren Erstad.
I did not know Darren Erstad. He was in the American League. He did that, correct?
Angels.
Yep. Erstad also has another claim to fame: the first player to drive in 100 runs batting leadoff. Imagine that.
He's a punter for the University of Nebraska in his time. Great athlete.
Didn't Pete Rose came up as a second baseman? They moved him out to left field. Didn't he win a Gold Glove in left field one year? We'll have the truck check on that.
I don't think so.
I think you got to go with Elias, I guess.
Pete played second, left. He played a little third
and first.
Then went over to first.
Right.
Then went over to first.
Michael Kadire is 2 for 2 today, including his first Met run batted in the 3rd, and he grounds this one foul.
Tough one's no part of that today.
People's United Bank brings you today's starting pitching lines, and Harvey has again been better.
No chant yet. But yes.
Got to wait till we get home. And Kadire goes down swinging on the changeup. Strasburg has his 4th strikeout, 1 down in the 5th.
Yeah, but Strasburg needed that one in the 3rd inning.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Daniel Murphy. Murphy came up with the bases loaded in the 3rd, hit a chopper that both Strasburg and Zimmerman went for, but it went for an infield hit. Murphy had his first RBI of the season as the Mets built a 4-run inning against Strasburg.
Keith, let me ask you a question. Is there a transition? Zimmerman, when he's at third base, you get everything you can get to, and the shortstop backs you up. But at first base, you have to be a little more conservative?
Right. Yep. There's a big difference, and I think it came through in that one play in that high hopper that Murphy hit with the bases loaded. And by the way, Pete Rose won 2 Gold Gloves in left field.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. I thought so.
Wow. I did not know that. But you are the master of the gold.
Well, I just remember reading that.
The keeper of Fort Knox, driven out to left field, and Robinson's there to grab it. 2 out. So Murphy retired. So what you're saying is that first base is a little more nuanced position than third, so we might not be handing out the gold quite yet.
A lot more nuanced. He's got footwork around the bag he's got to contend with, too. Scoops. It's a different throw for a double play.
Cutoffs. I mean, similar to third base, but more cutoffs.
There's Juan Lagares taking low ball 1. Well, it would take a bit to unseat the current Gold Glove first baseman in the National League, who's also the current Silver Slugger first baseman in the National League, who also has 5 home runs in his first 3 games.
10 hits.
That would be Adrian Gonzalez. Can't get off to a much better start.
Oh, wow.
First player ever to hit 5 home runs in the first 3 games of a season, and the first to have 3 straight 3-hit games to start a season in the National League since Orlando Cepeda in 1963. I mean, that's money in the bank. You could live for a few weeks off these first 3 days.
I don't know if you guys saw it last night, but I mean, every pitch from Cashner was about the same spot.
Yeah, it was.
Same pitch, fastball away and down.
Actually, more
middle,
down the
middle down. Yeah.
Wheelhouse.
That one ties up Lagares, and he went around strike 3. So that's Strasburg's best inning of the day, his 5th strikeout. Halfway through in D.C., Mets and Harvey leading 4-0. In a game that matters in almost 20 months, and it's like he never left. 4 innings for Matt Harvey, 6 strikeouts, no runs, 3 hits, fastball riding. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Well, that last one had some, as we used to say in baseball, had some hemp on it.
Mustard. You know, the one thing you notice, though, is maybe because the crowd isn't as large today, you can really hear the sound the ball makes hitting the mitt of Darno.
Jose Lobaton went down looking at a breaking ball his first time up. Strasburg is out on deck. Strasburg's thrown 80 pitches through 5. It looks like he'll stay on, even with his team down 4-0 in the 5th. And Lobaton bounces the changeup down to second. And Murphy takes care of him for the first out.
What happens a lot of times early in the season, Gary, is that your pitcher in a normal game in August or something, he might leave the game because you have the 4-run deficit, but you need to get your work in to get you to the end of the season. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're only at 80 pitches or so, you want to still, like spring training, get Strasburg to 90 to 100 pitches.
Strasburg went down looking at 3 pitches his first time up, and he looks at a 4th. 6 for 60 at the plate last year. Lifetime 148 hitter. And a late swing. 0-2. Strasburg and Harvey separated by about 8 months in age. Similar stuff, similar expectations, and you know, we don't know what Matt's going to be right now. He looks fantastic, yeah. But it would seem as though in the pantheon, Matt has leapfrogged Strasburg even in absentia.
Well, I think part of it is personality. You know, when I watch Steven Strasburg play, pitch, and hit, and whatever he does, I see a guy that likes to really be a part of the team process, as opposed to Harvey, who wants to play within the team process but doesn't mind being out front.
Does not shrink from stardom. 7 strikeouts now from Matt.
Pitches, Gary. How many pitches?
He is at 72. So if he can take care of Taylor in short order, he should get the 6th inning with no problem. He's already struck Taylor out twice, and he starts with a curveball this time for a strike.
He's starting to throw that over that 12-6 curveball to the right-handers. Remember Ronnie in spring, he just dropped it back door on left-handers.
2 in a row there to Taylor.
That one was up. He wasn't happy with that one. But
this is one of those pitches where 0-2, he's throwing 2 breaking balls. Sometimes you'll take this one, throw it as hard as you can on that outside corner. Really air one out.
0-2 to Taylor. Got a piece of the fastball. Michael Taylor, 24 years old, filling in for the injured Denard Span. Looks like the first of the injured Nats who may return would be Jason Worth, who's out on rehab today and could be back as early as the weekend. Span a little further behind, and then Rendon behind both of them. Hit sharply up the middle, and Taylor's got a base hit. So a 2-out hit for Taylor keeps the inning alive. The 4th hit off Harvey. There are the 3. Rendon is the most troubling because they're just not sure how serious this knee problem is.
It's a sprain to the ACL? MCL. And he has been running, but still, when he runs, he still gets pain afterwards. So there's something amiss.
Worth had shoulder surgery in January, and Span had core surgery right as spring training was starting. So they're on. I think there's an expectation that they're going to be coming back in short order. Murphy throws out Escobar to end the inning, so Harvey is through 5 and a reasonable pitch count and working with a 4-0 lead. Sunday, get an inside look at all the major Jets offseason moves, plus find out how Nick Folk's wife plays a major role helping him prepare for the season on the season premiere of Jets Nation Sunday at 7, only on SNY.
I thought football just ended.
Travis d'Arnaud lines one into left field for his second hit of the day. So d'Arnaud, who drove in a couple with a bloop single, hits a rope this time, and he's aboard to start the 6th. That's 7th hit against Strasburg.
Like his swing, he stays level, and the balance is there. He's going to be a guy that's going to hit. He hit 13 last year, and he did it by not trying. Gap to gap hitter. He can be an average hitter. Lots of doubles. Like what I see on his hot start.
5 for 10 with 4 RBIs for d'Arnaud. Now Flores, who's fly deep to center and taking a call, 3rd strike. And Strasburg runs one inside. Matt Harvey on deck. So if there was any question, Matt will come back and pitch the 6th inning. He's at 77 pitches through 5, and so you figure the 6th is as far as he'll go. Meanwhile, Strasburg took the turn at bat in the last half inning with his team down 4 runs. And throws a curveball low to Flores, 2-0. Strasburg has walked 2. They both came in the first inning and struck out 5.
That's the pitch that Flores can jump on. He's going to get a 2-0 fastball here.
Took the words out of my mouth. 2-0. If he throws you a hook, a good one, just take it. And you get a fastball, cover it.
And he lines one into left field for a base hit. So back-to-back hard hits for d'Arnaud and Flores, and now Harvey can come up and try and bunt them over. First, let's check in with the studio. Jonas Schwartz has a game break brought to you by Honda. So Matt Harvey will come to bat with 2 aboard and nobody out, and the Nats set up their bunt defense. And with Strasburg giving up a couple of very hard hits to start this inning, the Nats will get their bullpen cranking.
Both on his fastball, Gare. And you got to get the bunt down here. Help yourself.
Something that DeGrom was kicking himself about last night.
You know, he was real disappointed, but the thing he did tactically wrong, first and second, he needs to push that bunt to make the third baseman handle it. DeGrom looked like he was trying to bunt that ball to first base.
So Xavier Cedeno, the lefty, up in the bullpen with Granderson on deck. And Harvey stabbing at it, fouls it off, and it's 0-2. There's got to be something to not having faced major league pitching while trying to bunt for the last 2 years.
It's cold. You haven't been in there. You're facing an elite pitcher. You don't feel as comfortable in that box. I'll tell you that.
I'll get one more crack at it. And he fouls it off for strike 3. So Harvey unable to advance them. 6 strikeouts for Strasburg.
Well, showing he's human, I guess.
Hey, he could not get a hit all year. I think the Mets would be very comfortable with that. So here's Granderson, 1 for 2 and a walk. And they'll leave Strasburg in to face him. They get the right-hander Tanner Roark up alongside Cedeno in the bullpen with David Wright on deck. That scored all 4 of their runs in the 3rd. Got the 7 and 8 hitters aboard to start this 6th inning and looking to cash in. And Granderson fouls away the fastball. What do you guys think about the way Strasburg has looked today?
I think he's looked fine. You know, when you look at his game, when he looks back at it, you know, the key error by Desmond, but you know, there were 2 or 3 chances he's had to get out of innings where he's not executed the pitch, and that's probably maybe just a little rust here in April.
Is his velocity any concern?
I think that it's been a case that his velocity's been a little down now for a couple of years. You know, when he burst on the scene with 97, 98, the way that Matt is throwing, he's got a full repertoire of pitches to get people out. It's just today he has not made the pitches when he's had to, and no help from the defense.
He's been very hittable today, particularly for the left-handers, Gare. he stays away too much. He doesn't pitch inside enough, at least in this game, to the lefties. And but he hasn't had command of his changeup this entire game, so that's a big weapon against the left-handers. And he really hasn't been consistent with his curveball, Ron.
When I watch a pitcher like Strasburg, when he goes to the next level, you can see the catcher, when he's sitting in place, he'll receive the ball there. Every pitch has a purpose. I don't feel like he's had that today.
He's ahead on Granderson 0-2 and misses upstairs. And it feels as though he hasn't thrown his changeup as much as he normally does.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown his changeup as much. The other thing is I would work, and I don't know, that's part of who you are, your innate kind of being. I'd work on his body language a little bit. He kind of mopes out there a little bit, you know, a little more energetic. Backing up bases, a little snap to your step. But that sometimes is just part of your personality.
Played for the late Tony Gwynn at San Diego State and gave Tony such an enormous amount of credit for building him not only as a baseball player but as a person. Went to San Diego State as an admittedly pudgy 250-pounder, lost 30 pounds his freshman year, and by the end of his San Diego State career became the elite pitcher in college. And Granderson again working a count, getting from 0-2 to 3-2. And Strasburg a little bit annoyed, looking at Tim Timmons.
Well, it's just another changeup that he's thrown in the dirt. He's missed badly. He just can't get the feel for it. It's probably the cold weather.
Darno at second, Flores at first, and 1 out. 3-2 to Granderson. And Curtis lays off, ball 4, and he draws another walk. Granderson on base for the 3rd time today. He's drawn 4 walks in the first 3 games, hitting in that leadoff spot, and the Mets have the bases loaded with David Wright coming up.
I just question that pitch selection, Ron. Your changeup, it's your 3rd pitch. It's the one you haven't got command, and you see what pitchers do. And no offense, Ron, he's thrown the changeup in the dirt so much, he got it up there. He over-corrected.
Well, Roark's been throwing in the bullpen, but he has stopped. And Strasburg will stay in to face David Wright, who singled to center field his last time up. 1 for 3 on the day. Mets with a chance to break this game open.
Let's see if he comes in.
Strasburg from the windup.
Darno, the lead man at third. And Wright lines one into right field, a base hit. Darno is in. Flores being waved home. Here comes Harper's throw to the plate. It is not in time. A 2-run single for David Wright, and the Mets have a 6-0 lead. David Wright going the other way with authority.
Right down the pipe. One to come in. Fastball right down the middle. David with the approach going the other way. And Strasburg for the 2nd time not backing up home plate. That's a pet peeve for you. Nice inning right there for David. And Strasburg just getting tattooed, getting hurt on his fastball. Now he's done.
Those kind of things just can't happen at this level. You know, when you give up a hit, your job is to get behind your catcher and back up. Everyone's taking a beating.
Strasburg leaving. Xavier Cedeno will replace him. Mets with a 6-0 lead. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon. 28-year-old Xavier Cedeno makes his second appearance in the series.
Let's see, Cedeno, he's a guy that loves to just throw his breaking ball. He's got a curveball and a cutter.
Comes in to face Lucas Duda, who lays off. Sorry, Ron.
That he'll just continue to throw over and over. Kind of a one-pitch pitcher.
Beautiful at bat to start this. Well, actually, by Granderson, that walk to load the bases that set it up for Wright.
Granderson now at third, Wright at first. 2 runs home in the inning.
Curtis on base 3 times today.
Duda's had a walk and a hit by pitch, 0 for 1, and he takes low. Cedeno came in on Monday to face Daniel Murphy after Max Scherzer left the game in the 8th and got Murphy to ground out with 2 men on.
Remember in spring training, Lucas Duda asked to go on the road trip to Lakeland to face David Price, to face every good left-hander that was in spring training, to work on his stroke. Lefty against lefty matchup.
Hit 180 against lefties last year. Wants to play every day against the lefties. Terry Collins has already said he'll probably get a day off this weekend. And Michael Kadire will play first base against one of the 2 left-handers the Mets will face in Atlanta. Lucas would be like to be able to change his mind.
Well, you're going to get a breaking ball off this guy.
2-1 from Cedeno, and he fouls off the slider. 2-2. Well, we saw this spring Lucas on several occasions face lefties and take his approach the other way and get base hits to left field.
Well, that breaking ball, he seems to be doing a little better job at it, but he just got to wait a little longer, and that's easier said than done.
Michael Kadire on deck. 2-2 to Duda. And Lucas takes just off the plate. Cedeno thought he might have had it. 3-2.
Boy, oh boy. This has got a lot of plate, too.
Maybe they called it low.
Oh, man, you don't get that. You'd be hot. You're a pitcher.
Figure Wright runs here to stay out of the double play with 1 out. Granderson at third. Not going, and Duda strikes out. So that's the second out of the inning.
Little hanger here. I think kind of tied Lucas up inside. If you look at him try to change his bat, bringing his arms in, just tied him up.
And it looks like Matt Williams is going to keep the lefty in to face Michael Kadire. Kadire's 2 for 3 today. He's driven in a run. He scored a run. Granderson at third, Wright at first, and 2 down. Kadire does not have an official at bat against Cedeno, so this is an interesting call by Matt Williams. And he throws a cutter inside for ball 1.
Very interesting. We've seen the Mets very aggressive on first ball, fastball hitting. There's a new regime here.
Two fastballs there from Cedeno, both in. 1 a ball, 1 a strike. Just owns left-handers, this Kadire. Pretty good against righties, too.
Well, the way the Mets lineup is constructed, it's awfully difficult for a manager to manage his left-handers out of the bullpen. Because you got Wright and Kadire, both of whom feast on lefties, hitting second and fourth.
I think you'll see this a lot, is that the left-handers all around the NL East will have to come in and get right-handers out also.
It always helps when you've got a left right balanced lineup. It really limits the manager. You only got so many relievers, even though today there's 7 out there.
Cedeno ahead 1-2. And Kadire goes around in the half swing, so Cedeno does a nice job. Back-to-back strikeouts coming out of the bullpen. But the Mets add a pair against Strasburg on Wright's hit and lead 6-0. Live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live on demand in true HD. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, Matt Harvey out there for what will probably be his last inning of the afternoon. 5 scoreless innings to date. 2 strikeouts of Bryce Harper and a strike 1 swinging on a fastball. Harvey has struck out 7 over 5 innings, allowed just 4 hits. Mets have gotten him plenty of run support. In all, it has been exactly what the Mets have been waiting 20 months for. Harper has struck out twice on high fastballs. Looking like he never left. And it was funny talking to Matt yesterday. He said, because I was able to have a normal winter, I'm able to pretend that 2014 never happened, and I'm just getting ready after the 2013 season.
Well, it makes a lot of sense for you folks at home. When you're rehabbing an injury, a lot of times you have to do it right away. Here's good slider down and in, fastball away. And it's then been that pitch, which has been the Achilles heel for Harper. He cannot catch up to the fastball upstairs.
Swings right through it. He's blind up there.
But I was saying, well, when you rehab an injury, a lot of times you have to rehab it right up to spring training. You don't know what you got until you get there. When he was able to stop, he just had a chance to get ready for the season like any other season.
Did you see that pitch, Ron?
Fastball in.
Ooh. That would, if that was a strike, it was locked him up, put him in deep freeze.
2-2 to Harper with Zimmerman on deck. Curveball just missed. Full count.
Well, you'd think he'd have to go back to the well. That fastball up and away. Let's see if he challenges Harper. You would think with a 6-0 lead.
Gone upstairs twice in a row to strike him out. Back to the curveball, and he fouled it off.
That's the pitch I don't like against Harper, because the way he bails a little bit, that curveball that's breaking back into him, he has a better cut at that pitch.
Again, the 3-2. Struck him out. 3rd time Harvey has fanned Harper. That's number 8 for Matt.
Upstairs, Ron. Same pitch. Just had a lot of the middle of the plate. He just can't touch the high, hard one.
Can't hit it, and he can't lay off it.
Nag.
What was that Yogi told Jeter when early in his career? Yogi, I can't hit the high one. Yogi said, well, don't swing at it. And he said, well, you hit it. And he goes, yeah, but I could hit it.
And not too many are hitting his high fastball. Zimmerman has been up twice, flied out both times. And he grounds one foul. Down to Bob Henley, the third base coach. Mets 6 runs and 9 hits. The Nationals no runs and 4 hits. Buddy Carlisle, the right-hander. Alex Torres, the left-hander. Torres is yet to get in the game, so Terry Collins would like to get him in. He'd also like to get Sean Gilmartin in a game. He's yet to go out there. Another fly ball from Zimmerman. Easy for Granderson. And there are 2 out. Well,
yes.
The soft pitch limit of 90 is upon us. And Harvey trying to get the final out here in the 6th and put a cap on his day as he takes on the rookie Clint Robinson.
Robinson has had some pretty good swings against Harvey.
Probably made the best contact of the day against Matt when he hit one right near the 402 sign in center field that Lagares ran down in the 4th. One walk, 8 strikeouts, 4 hits. Pop-up foul that'll come out of play, and now it's 0-2 to Robinson.
I like the fact that this inning he pounded the 2 left-handers in with the fastball. I think he's found his rhythm, getting more confident. You can't tell me he wasn't nervous.
No, of course.
To the start.
Of course, it's a different deal when it counts.
0-2 in the dirt with the changeup, 1-2.
I do think, though, that this Mets team, they're facing a injury-riddled team in the Nationals. But you know what? You got to take advantage of that time. It'll be a different team next time they see him.
They were 4-15 against them last year. 1-2. Struck him out. 9 strikeout from Matt Harvey. A magnificent return to action. Harvey back and back for real. 6 scoreless innings. Like he never left. Well, Matt Harvey has every reason to feel very good about his return to action. 19.5 months on the sidelines, and he comes back with this: 6 scoreless innings, 9 strikeouts, and a chance to get himself a W in his first game back. Reed Johnson comes in to play left field in a double switch. He'll bat 9th, and the new pitcher Tanner Roark will go on the 5-hole.
Tanner Roark, who had a fantastic ERA last year of 2.85 when he won 15 games. What did it win him? They tripped to the bullpen when they acquired Max Scherzer.
Daniel Murphy, first man to face him, takes a curveball for a strike. Murphy had an infield hit to drive in a run in the Mets' 4-run third inning. Mets added 2 more in the 6th on David Wright's base hit to build a 6-0 lead. All of that against Steven Strasburg, who gave up 6 runs, 3 of them earned on 9 hits over 5 1/3.
3 unearned runs from the Mets. Another gift from Ian Desmond at shortstop.
I think I have my math right here. I'm going to throw it out there anyway, and then people can make fun of me if I don't. 37 starts now for Harvey in his career. 20 times, 20 starts, he's given up 1 earned run or less.
That's correct.
That's phenomenal.
Which is amazing considering that he had 19 starts where he gave up 1 run or less and only 12 wins, which goes to show that sometimes wins don't tell the whole story. But he's in position to win today with a big lead. And Murphy grounds one for Ugla. 1 out in the 7th.
All the good pitchers are just so stingy, and it doesn't matter if the game is out of control, or tight. They just do not want. They don't want to give up runs if they're with their nephews and nieces playing wiffle ball in the backyard. They just don't.
I don't think they're stingy. I just think they're darn good.
Yeah.
They're just good.
Here's Lagares. Juan is 0 for 3 today. Alex Torres continues to throw in the Mets bullpen. Looks like he'll be the first man out of the pen today and make his Mets debut.
I know the Mets have scored 6 runs here. Nice offensive afternoon. Would you be tempted to put Lagares in the leadoff hole to get him going against Stoltz and Wood, 2 left-handers that are going to start on Friday and Sunday in Atlanta?
I think it's an interesting question. The way to look at it is, do you go with a different lineup against the lefty, or do you stay with what's working if you win 2 out of 3 here?
I think it's wonderful they're going to win 2 out. I thought they were going to sweep. They're off to Atlanta, another team that swept. And this is all good. I mean, Harvey's start to me is one to build on. This is just his first start, and a little bit nervous first couple innings, and he built on. He got better as the game went on. I'm looking forward to his next one.
I think the issue here for me is that you really can't move Lagares there anymore because Granderson is going and is taking some great at bats, so you kind of have to leave him there.
Yeah, Granderson on base 3 times today and doesn't give away a whole lot against the lefties. And Stoltz is not overpowering pitcher by any means. He'll face the Mets tomorrow night in Atlanta. Lagares keeping this at bat alive.
Wood is a little more overpowering because he's kind of herky-jerky and tough to pick up. But Stoltz is one of those guys, sinker slider guy. But you'd like to see number 12 get going also.
0 for 3 today, 1 for 11 to start the season. And he lines one into center field, and that'll get him going. So a really good turn at bat for Lagares there. So 7 pitches and drills a base hit.
That was a great reaction when Lagares got on first. He just big slap of his hands like, yes, I needed that.
So the Mets have their 10th hit of the afternoon. This is by far their best offensive output of the series. And here's Travis d'Arnaud, who's had himself quite a 3 days here in Atlanta. 2 for 3 today with a couple of RBIs. 5 for 10 with 4 runs driven in this series. And takes a fastball strike from Roark. Now, Ronnie, you've been there.
Yeah.
Successful starting pitcher, shuttled off to the bullpen. And you had been successful for more years than Tanner Roark has, but still the notion that you can have the kind of year he had last year, double play ball and a low throw, Uggla though able to handle it and turn it over. We'll talk more about that when we come back. 5-4-3 double play ends the inning. 7th inning stretch. Mets with a 6-0 lead. bottom of the 7th. Tomorrow night, the Mets are in Atlanta to open a series against the unbeaten Atlanta Braves. Matchup of lefties tomorrow night. John Neese against Eric Stoltz. Our coverage begins at 6:30 tomorrow night. It's the Braves home opener tomorrow night at Turner Field. For more on the Braves, let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Well, the Braves in rebuilding mode, but don't tell them that after they swept the Marlins. First sweep of an opening series for Atlanta since 2007. And, you know, when they traded away a lot of their guys, they traded away a lot of all or nothing guys, home runs or strikeouts. And as part of this rebuild, the Braves really trying a new approach, going back to small ball, putting the ball in play, not striking out as much. Again, really small sample size, but first 3 games, only 6 strikeouts a game. They were 4th in the major leagues in strikeouts a season ago. And this stat is really telling. With 2 strikes on, they've had 46 guys come up. 15 of them have gotten on base. That's a .326 on base percentage with 2 strikes in the count. Last year it was about 100 points lower. Again, small sample size, but the last thing also with runners in scoring position hitting over 400. They were the 3rd worst in the majors last year with runners in scoring position. So it's a new look Atlanta Braves team that the Mets are going to see, not just with the faces, but with the approach as well.
Well, we'll see if they can keep that going. It also certainly helps that they gave up only 3 runs in 3 games in that series against the Marlins. And I think what's been most impressive about that from Atlanta's standpoint, especially in light of the trade of Craig Kimbrell on the eve of the season, is that their bullpen has been impeccable so far.
Well, I was really impressed. Jim Johnson with his setup, 2 veterans, and Jason Grilli closing. Able to do such a great job out there, because that could be a thing that could devastate a team because they were so used to the excellence of Kimbrell.
Ian Desmond a double, and he's reached on an error today, 1 for 2. And Torres misses inside with his changeup, 2-1.
The Braves also, in a lot of their trades, I mean, it's obvious they're just doing a serious salary dump too to get rid of those high salaries.
Well, the goal is to, retool and be a contender when they move into their new stadium in a couple of years.
Well, A.J. Preller for the Padres has got all the headlines, but no one's done more than John Hart or made more moves.
Well, if you're going to do a tear down, you do it. I mean, that's what the Astros did, and it's starting to pay off for them. I don't know if the Braves are going to be quite as complete about sending all their big league talent away. I mean, they've still got Freddie Freeman, one of the best hitters in the game, as Desmond draws a walk, and they still have Anderson Simmons, the best defensive shortstop in baseball. But that's really all that's left from that team as far as position players are concerned.
When you think about Chris Johnson, their third baseman, they probably want him to play well so they can trade him.
He's a part-time player now. He and Alberto Callaspo are sharing that spot at third base, at least so far.
Youngster Jace Peterson at second base.
Got him from the Padres.
Christian Bethancourt is getting a chance to play every day behind the plate.
Here's Dan Uggla after the leadoff walk to Desmond. And so Torres having trouble throwing strike.
Well, this is his issue with Torres. He's a guy that can gut lefties or righties out. He has an excellent changeup, but he can go on streaks where it's very difficult for him to throw strikes. He has a wild streak.
Last year, 33 walks in 54 innings with the Padres. And now behind on Uggla, 2-0. And the Mets are keeping the bullpen busy. If Torres is going to have problems here, he'll get a quick hook.
In these kind of games, the only way you can let the other team back in it is with free passes. The other team is kind of dead. They're in a slumber. The only way you can wake them up is to give them free bases.
Uggla 1 for 2, had an infield hit back in the second. And Torres misses with the fastball. It's 3-0. Alex Torres, 28 years old, made his debut with the Rays in 2011. And pitched in 70 games for San Diego last year. That's got him in a trade a week before the season. And there's a strike, 3-1. Still wearing the conventional cap wore that oversized padded cap last year with the Padres, and they've changed the padded cap this year, and he wasn't really comfortable with the way they modeled it this year. It has more outside padding than inside, so waiting for them to put one together for him. 3-2 now to Oakland. Jose Lobaton, the number 8 hitter, waiting on deck. Let's have the former National Jerry Blevins up in the bullpen now. Desmond at first and nobody out. And Douglas keeps himself alive.
Tough day at the ball yard for that man right there, Bryce Harper.
3 at bats, 3 strikeouts, all 3 strikeouts on the same pitch. High fastballs from Matt Harvey. Harvey struck out 9 in 6 innings. Again, the 3-2. Pulled foul.
Boy, Ugla is just a shell of himself.
He's out front, huh, Keith?
He just doesn't. He looks disjointed up there, and he's lost his confidence. There's no question. He's one of the guys that was the premier power hitting second baseman in his day,
and yet was able to scrape himself off the scrap heap this winter and win a job with the Nats out of spring training, quite unexpectedly, after being released twice last year. 8th pitch of the at bat coming from Torres, and he got him looking at the changeup. Nice job by Alex Torres to bounce back after falling behind 3-0.
Well, this is his best pitch by far. It's that good. It's almost like a screwball.
Well, he certainly had Ugla bailing.
Buckled his world. Went down on his knees.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now Jose Lobaton will turn around about right-handed for the first time. Reed Johnson is batting 9th in the order. He's on deck. Lobaton 0 for 2 today. He's a better right-hand hitter than left. 248 right-handed, 219 left-handed over his career. The Mets are so deep in starting pitching prospects that they were able to deal Corey Mazzoni to the Padres to pick up Torres to fill a need on the eve of the season, finding themselves shorthanded from the left side. All of a sudden, not quite so shorthanded as they picked up Torres and Jerry Blevins on the same day.
Talk about pitching prospects. Steven Matz going in the opener for the 51s tonight.
All the Mets full season farm teams beginning play tonight.
It hasn't even begun to get hot in Las Vegas yet.
Well, they're in Fresno, which it can get hot in Fresno too.
Fresno's scorching.
Right?
The Valley,
the Raisins.
Used to be the old days in the California State League.
That's right.
Visalia was the Met A-ball team in that California State League.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Fresno was the Giants. Modesto was the Cardinals. Bakersfield was the Dodgers. Reno was the Cleveland Indians. And there was Stockton in that league too. I forget who in the heck was there.
A's?
Not sure.
3rd straight 3-ball count for Torres. And Lobaton takes inside ball 4. So 2 walks, sandwiching a strikeout. And Terry Collins has seen enough. Yeah. Reed Johnson's coming up, a guy who's really hurt the Mets in the past. And Terry will go to a right-hander. So not a successful Mets debut for Alex Torres. Buddy Carlisle will come in to try and bail him out. Mets up 6-0 in the 7th. Get to Citi Field Saturday, April 18th for fireworks night following the Mets game against the Marlins at 7:10. For tickets, visit Mets.com/fireworks. Buddy Carlisle picked up his first big league save on opening day, back for his second appearance.
Well, you see, he only appeared in 27 games last year, but one of the last additions to that bullpen. It might be one of the more important additions out in that bullpen.
37-year-old Carlisle facing 38-year-old Reed Johnson. Johnson was with the Marlins last year. They released him near the end of spring training, and the Nats snapped him up the next day. Johnson, who has killed the Mets over the years, now with his sixth different team. Lifetime .280 hitter. And he flies one pretty deep to right. Granderson back. And gets it for the second out. Tagging at second is Desmond. He'll move over to third. So 2 out, runners at the corners. Michael Taylor coming up, and we check in with Steve.
Guys, you know, there are plenty of times over the last few years where Buddy Carlisle could have called it a career, signing a minor league contract this year, pitching a lot in AAA last year with the Mets. But he looks at himself as somewhat of a role model. Back in 2009, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And for anybody, that's really difficult to monitor. It takes a lot of monitoring. But for a professional athlete, he takes his blood sugar level 4 or 5 times a game. He has to get it really high by drinking a lot of Gatorades as the game goes on, just because with physical exertion, it drops so heavily. So there's a lot that goes into playing while having type 1 diabetes. But Buddy Carlisle said that, you know, he wants to prove to people out there that you can play with this, with what he has, with diabetes, especially young kids. He says he knows a lot of parents that when their kids get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, they pull them out of everything. He's pitching in part to prove that they don't have to.
Some of the players in major leagues who have type 1 diabetes: Brandon Morrow, the pitcher for the Padres; Sam Fuld, an outfielder with the A's.
First one that I can remember was Ron Santo with the Cubs, and around the same time, Bobby Clark, the great Philadelphia Flyer. And they were great role models for young people who suffer from diabetes.
There's a rarity right there. Buddy Carlisle threw a ball.
Usually throws all fastballs and all strikes.
Boy, he just pounds the strike zone, goes after hitters. I like him.
Has really carved himself a niche, but it wasn't until the last possible moment that Carlisle made this team coming out of spring. It didn't look like there was going to be room for him, especially after the Mets added the 2 lefties at the last minute. But they decided to keep 8 relievers rather than 7, and so Carlisle had a spot.
Saved his first game as a major leaguer, and now has appeared in 2 out of 3 games for Terry Collins' crew.
2-2 to Michael Taylor, is 1 for 3 on the day. A little quick pitch there, and it's foul back. Another one from the LaTroy Hawkins school.
But be careful though with guys on base.
LaTroy is entering his final season, still closing games for Colorado.
Yeah, a little hiccup last night's game. Give up a couple of runs in the 9th.
But they rallied and won it in the 10th, and the Rockies are 3-0, and they won all 3 on the road. That doesn't happen.
I think they had 16 doubles in the 3-game series. Something crazy.
Yep. I believe that tied a record for the most doubles in the first 3 games of a season.
Cargo hit one 460-something in Milwaukee.
And then Willen Rosario came up and hit a pinch hit homer in the 10th. So if you had the parlay of the Braves and Rockies as the 2 unbeaten teams through 3 games,
you probably won the NCAA bracket too.
Probably did very well. Did you see where some 12-year-old kid won the bracket contest?
Yeah.
But he couldn't collect the money because
he was too young?
Come on.
Give it up.
Put it in escrow.
Yes. College education someday.
Shouldn't affect his eligibility. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat from Carlisle to Taylor. And a slider that misses. Full count. So that'll put Lobaton in motion from first. Desmond on to third with 2 down.
pretty impressed with this young man, Taylor. He's going to be some kind of player. Great athlete. Like how he plays defense out in center field. Just learning how to hit.
Got a base hit against Harvey behind in the count his last time up, and he lifts this one to deep left center. Back in the gap, Kadire, and it's over his head and off the base of the wall. 2 runs will score on a double by Michael Taylor, and the Nats are on the board. It's now 6-2 New York.
Well, he tried to sneak a slider in there 2-2 after all the fastballs and missed poorly. And with a 6-run lead, you know the fastball's coming. And he hit it a long way right there.
Bare-handed off the wall by Kadire.
So a couple of walks by Alex Torres have both come in to score on the double by Taylor against Carlisle. Now it's a 6-2 game, and Yunel Escobar the batter, and this is huge here with Bryce Harper on deck. That's if Escobar gets on, have a chance to get right back in this game. Jerry Blevins up, getting ready. Join the Braves and Rockies at 3-0.
Votto can hit.
That game's 2-2 in the 6th. At the knees for a strike.
Noticed last night that Joey Votto had shaved his head. He has the shaved head look now. Trying something different.
Less hair, swinging more pitches.
There you go.
Driving a few more runs. Now Carlisle ahead on Escobar 1-2. Murphy slides over to his right and throws out Escobar to end the inning. The Nats get on the board. We're through 7. 6-2 New York. Like a couple of pitches and then hitting a game-winning home run last night.
You know, it's interesting to see the Royals, who were the worst in baseball hitting home runs. Here's the Mets box score.
Brought to you by Subway.
Filled with some nice crooked numbers today.
Darno, 2 hits, couple of RBIs. Same for David Wright. 2 hits for Michael Kadire as well.
Just saying, that was interesting. The Royals were known as a team that was great defense during the regular season last year. A team that didn't strike out. But they became in the postseason a team with power, and now they've turned it on again. Came with a home run. Hosmer had a 3-run bomb last night.
They definitely were playing angry last night. There was an exchange of hit batsmen, and they threw one behind LaRoche's head in retaliation, which was a little nasty. That was Danny Duffy, I think, who did that. A little bit too high for anybody's comfort.
Well, Samardzija started it on opening day by he gave up a home run, and then he drilled Kane, who was the next batter.
Wilmer Flores 1 for 3 on the day, singled and scored in the 6th.
Even if you don't mean to, if you hit the batter after you've given up a home run, it just always smells bad.
Kirk Neuenhuis has come out on deck to be a pinch hitter for Carlisle. And Granderson behind him as the Mets bat in the 8th. Facing Tanner Roark, working his 2nd inning. And Flores gets a piece of the slider. 2-2.
Flores got his first solid hit of the season. His last at bat, a bullet to left field off of Strasburg.
Carlos Torres up in the Mets bullpen. Two Torres kind of an afternoon. I was asking Mets equipment manager Kevin Kirst about the lack of initials on the Torres. He said, we really haven't done that in recent years. And I was trying to remember when the Mets had multiple Francos. They did not put initials on the jerseys. Fouled off the foot of Flores.
You couldn't have gotten 2 guys named Franco who looked more different than John and Matt, right?
And then you had Julio. Actually, the last time I think that the Mets used initials in that situation was back when you had Davey and Howard Johnson. And Hojo had H. Johnson for a while on his jersey.
Did Tom Glavine's brother play when he was a Met?
Mike Glavine.
Did they use initials then for that short time?
Don't think so. Okay. Into shallow left, and on comes Reed Johnson, speaking of which. And they're first out. So Flores is retired, 1 away. Now Neuenhuis will come up to pinch hit, as he has in every game in this series. Struck out on opening day, drew a walk in the game last night, and stole a base. One out and nobody on, and the curveball in for a strike.
Roark looks like he's been able to put spring training behind him. He looks like in mid-season form from last year.
Last year worked to a 2.85 ERA, only 39 walks and 199 innings last year. He just had a tremendous breakout season. Golf foul down the left side. 1-2 to Neuenhuis. Well, Jonathan Neese makes his season debut tomorrow night in Atlanta. Supposed to have warm and maybe a little wet weather.
What new in Atlanta?
Imagine that, going to Atlanta and seeing a little rain. 1-2. And that's bounced on the right side. Zimmerman ranging wide. It's Roark for the 2nd out. So 2 out and nobody on. Let's see what's coming up on Geico Sports Night tonight. Chris Carlin with another great tweet.
He's banned from Augusta.
Because he's not supposed to yell when Tiger's swinging. Baba Booey or anything else. I think you're allowed to say you're the man, but that's after he hits it. Right?
Maybe Augusta, Maine.
Here's Granderson, has been aboard 3 times today. 2 walks and a single. He scored a run. So Curtis just 1 for 9, but really taking the whole getting on base thing seriously. 4 walks in the first 3 games. Batting here with 2 out and nobody on. Might be a good time to swing the bat. Mets are looking for their first home run of the season. They've been out homered in this series 2-0. last year got out-homered by the Nats 26-7, which we found out today is not a record. The Mets were out-homered by 19 by the Nats last year, but if you go back to 1966, the Mets were out-homered by the Pirates 29-7, minus 22. That was the worst ever in Mets history.
Would you say 66?
66.
Who's on that team?
Clemente,
Pirates.
and Stargell, and
Clemente. Clendenin was still there. Manny Mota was on that team.
Yeah, but he wasn't hitting home runs.
No, he was always a line drive hitter. Was Gene Alley playing shortstop?
Yeah, that's a good call.
Rennie Stennett on that team?
No. It's
70s.
Gene Alley was a shortstop for quite a while.
Three-two, and Granderson pulls one, and Uggla able to handle the hop. Side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Tanner Roark. That sends us off to the bottom of the 8th with the Mets up 6-2. By WB Mason, the official office supply company of the New York Mets. Who but WB Mason? By Mazda. Mazda is KBB.com's lowest cost to own brand over 5 years. And by Citi, preferred card of the New York Mets. Carlos Torres will pitch for the Mets in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, we talked about Torres' brilliant season last year. 14 decisions, 8-6 record over 73 games.
And a troubling spring, but a very good first outing on opening day. Worked a 1-2-3 inning with 3 ground balls. And he faces Bryce Harper to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Harper trying to avoid the dreaded golden sombrero.
Not the immaculate one.
Not the immaculate sombrero. Brett Laurie has that all to himself.
Not allowed to swear on the air, Gare.
Aaron Barrett up in the bullpen for the Nats. 1-1 to Harper. Zimmerman to follow. Then the pitcher due up 3rd in the inning. So we might see Matt Dendecker, who's the only lefty on the Nats bench. Harper hits one in the air to right, but playable for Granderson as he goes back. And onto the warning track to get it for the first out. Torres got it just in enough on Harper. So 1 out and nobody on. Now Ryan Zimmerman. Last time the Nats scored before the 7th inning today with Zimmerman's first inning home run yesterday. So the Mets held the Nats scoreless for 14 innings in between those 2 extra base hits. Matt Harvey making his return to action today, and Matt was as good as you could have possibly asked for. 6 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts in his first outing in more than 19 months.
And got better as the game progressed.
Good call.
What would you say, Ronnie, is the most important thing you saw from Matt today?
I think no panic. I think when you're in a game where you haven't pitched in a long time and it counts, he came out of the chute and, he wasn't as perfect as he had been in spring. That sometimes can be frustrating for a pitcher of Matt's stature. But he just didn't panic, said it'll come, kept working on it, kept throwing the pitches, trying to find the feel, and finally did. I'm a big believer, and I judge when you're watching starting pitchers anyway. How can they pitch when everything isn't working? Because when it's all working, that becomes easy. It's fun. But sometimes when it's not working, you have to be patient. Wait till it comes your way. Still get outs when you don't have your best stuff. And like Keith said, he got better as he went along.
Zimmerman goes down swinging. First strikeout for Torres, and the 11th today for Met pitching.
He's got that natural cutter. Zimmerman is just so far off the plate. I mean, he's had some terrific years, but I just would be inclined to tell him, why don't you just get, 6 inches closer to the plate.
Tyler Moore will be the pinch hitter, batting for the pitcher. Moore started the first 2 games of this series and went 0 for 5. And he hits one up the middle. Murphy to his right on the backhand, and the jump throw is on target. Beautiful play, Daniel Murphy. Shaded toward the middle and makes the backhand stop on the other side of the bag. And then on target with that jumping toss. Outstanding play for Murph. Guess that hamstring's okay. Go to the 9th. Mets up by 4. Get interactive with SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, featuring pitch-by-pitch coverage, player cards, and in-depth stats. Check out SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports. Aaron Barrett in to make his second appearance in the series.
Yeah, he had a good season for the Nationals. Good fastball in the 95-mile-an-hour range. Good overhand 12-6 curveball.
Struggled a bit opening day. Gave up a single and a walk in 2/3 of an inning. Comes in to face David Wright. Wright, Duda, and Kadire as the Mets bat in the top of the ninth, leading 6-2, trying to take this season opening series from the Nats and go 2-1 against a team they were 4-15 against last year. And David takes curveball for a strike. Wright had a big hit in the 6th inning. Mets were up 4-0, and Wright, with a hard single to right, drove in a pair to make it a 6-0 game. David's 2 for 4 on the day. Barrett running that one inside, and it's 0-2. Steven Strasburg started, went 5 1/3, allowed 6 runs, 3 of them earned on 9 hits. And he is on the hook in this game. So that's twice now that Harvey has faced Strasburg, and twice that Harvey has gotten the better of Strasburg.
Well, I'll tell you, when you're facing a good pitcher, guys, you get up for it, you know? I mean, I'm talking about Harvey facing Strasburg. You know that runs are going to be at a premium, although the Mets got to him today. So you take those challenges. You don't take those challenges lightly.
Strike 3 called, so Wright is caught looking with a fastball. Let's check in with the studio, see what's coming up on WB Mason Postgame Live. Gary Apple, Nelson Figueroa, guys. All right, guys, we'll check in with you in just a bit. Lucas Duda comes to bat. Lucas 0 for 2, but he's been on base twice with a walk and a hit by pitch. That hit batsman in the 3rd inning was a huge play because Strasburg appeared to be out of the 3rd, a base hit and an error, and then got a hit on Duda, hit him in the foot with a pitch, and the Mets cashed in for 4 runs. And now Barrett falls behind him 2-0. The Mets 6 runs and 10 hits. The Nationals 2 runs and 5 hits. By far the Mets' best offensive day of the 3. And now 3-0 to Lucas. And Jerry's Familia, who at the moment is the Mets closer, with Henry Mejia and Bobby Parnell both on the disabled list, getting up despite the fact it'll be a non-save situation in the bottom of the 9th.
Little leeway, though, to work with. 4-run lead, maybe more.
It'll be very interesting. We talked about this in the spring to see what happens when all 3 of those gentlemen are available. Mejia, Familia, Parnell. Duda cracks one to deep right center field, but Taylor gets over in the gap and runs it down for the 2nd out. The ball did not go very far.
Got in enough on Lucas.
This time of the year, it's just so difficult for the hitters. Even if you cover a ball, it goes nowhere.
Well, Kadire got the big blow here in that 4-run 3rd inning. Got the base hit to right center field. Drove in a run. It's one to bat much better today.
2 for 4 today. Single to center, single to right. In the bottom of the 9th, the Nats will have 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Desmond, Ugla, and Lobaton against Jerry's Familia. And Kadire went around.
Barrett's got himself a pretty good breaking ball. Looks like he's got a lot of spin on it, Ronnie.
Yeah, he's got a tight core to that breaking ball.
1-2 from Barrett, and he gets Kadire, so a good inning for Aaron Barrett. Strikes out a pair. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Jeurys Familia on to try and finish it off with the Mets up by 4. Mayberry comes in to play left field, and Jeurys Familia will try and finish off this 6-2 Met lead.
So Familia's time as the closer will begin in a non-save situation.
It's a good way to get your feet wet rather than jumping right into the fire. He'll face Ian Desmond leading off in the last of the ninth. Desmond will double and a walk today, but his legacy in this series will be 3 errors that led to 6 Mets unearned runs in the 3 games.
And most importantly, 2 W's. I mean, 2 L's. Not good.
But not yet. And that one's lined over Duda and down the right field line. A base hit for Desmond. And he's got himself his second opposite field double of the game.
Down and away.
Pretty good pitch from Familia.
So Familia, who looked just lights out in the opener on Monday, gives up a hit to the first man who faces him.
And a pretty good pitch. Down and away. That's good hitting right there.
Now Dan Uggla, who's 1 for 3, an infield hit back in the second. Familia, the 5th Met pitcher of the afternoon. Matt Harvey went 6 scoreless. Alex Torres charged with a couple of runs in the 7th. Carlos Torres, and now Familia in the 9th. Hit hard, and David Wright with a splendid backhand stop gets the out. Boy, a bullet. And Wright really had to be quick reaching out to his right.
Well, David has got sure hands. He's just so solid. We've seen those hot shots, and that's why they call it the hot corner. Just a beautiful backhand.
Almost makes like a hockey goalie when he makes those plays.
Interesting that the Nats, who faced Familia on Monday, are being uber aggressive down by 4 runs here in the 9th.
Well, they know that slider that he threw 3 or 4 times that was not touched, they don't want to get to that pitch. So they know they're going to get the sinker first pitch, and they're going after it.
So here's Lobaton, who's 0 for 2 in a walk, back batting left-handed now. And again, he goes after the first pitch. So all 3 hitters going up there and ready to hack against Familia.
Well, they're going to definitely have that kind of approach against Jeurys. Remember, in spring training, it wasn't that his numbers were high. It was how many balls he gave up that were hit so sharply.
And he's given up a couple of those already here in the last of the ninth. There's a good-looking fastball for a strike, and it's 0-2. And Familia was just untouchable on Monday. Gave up nothing. 3 ground ball outs in a row. Ahead on Lobaton 0-2 with Reed Johnson on deck. And that one pops out of the mid of d'Arnaud. No advance. 1-2. Johnson hitting 9th in the order. Michael Taylor behind him. Desmond at second and 1 out. Now the 1-2. Lobaton hits it sharply but foul. Well, the marquee headed by Matt Harvey. He was terrific for 6 scoreless innings in his return to action.
That's a great shot there. The wingspan before he delivers that baseball, that arm all the way to second base, that glove hand on the way to the plate.
First start in 593 days, and he was in Matt Harvey form. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Familia comes back, strikes out Lobaton, and now the Nats are down to their final out.
Guys, that looked like that four-seamer he worked on a little bit in spring training. Throws it right by Lobaton.
So I guess that project hasn't been fully abandoned. So 2 out. Desmond still at second, and it's left to Reed Johnson, who flied out to right and is only at bat in the 7th. Johnson started the day as a lifetime .336 hitter against the Mets. And he takes a knee-high fastball for a strike.
And he'll always be able to say, there was a guy that won 2 Cy Youngs, Johan Santana, that I owned in my day. Great numbers against Santana.
And Johnson strokes one to right field. That's a base hit. Desmond around third. He'll come in to score. Reed Johnson drives in a run. And the Nats stay alive. It's now 6-3 New York.
Good hitting by Johnson. Fastball away. More middle. Didn't really sink. Stayed up and around mid-thigh. Good line drive hitting.
So now the Nats need one more base runner to get the tying run to the plate as Michael Taylor steps in. Taylor singled in the 5th, then hit a long 2-run double off the wall in left center in the 7th.
Wonder if you'd think of getting Jerry Blevins up just in case you get to the Harper spot.
Boy, I would think you'd have to. In the dirt with the slider. 1-0 to Taylor. A leadoff double to Desmond, a 2-out single by Johnson to drive in a run, and Jerry Blevins is getting up in the Mets bullpen. The former Nat will have the assignment if Harper comes up here in the 9th. And he is 2 batters away. Amelia trying to put an end to it right here. Taylor 2 out of 4 on the day. And checks his swing and takes ball 2. Getting a little dicier by the moment. Yunel Escobar would be next. Mets had a 6-0 lead in this game. Taylor drove in a couple in the 7th. And now trying to keep him alive in the 9th. Familia behind 2-0. And Taylor hits one in the air to center field. Should be playable for Lagares. And the ball game is over. The Mets mark Matt Harvey's return to action with a series victory in Washington. Harvey goes 6 scoreless innings, strikes out 9. The Mets have their best offensive day of the season so far, and they take 2 out of 3 against the team they've had so much trouble beating, They win 2 out of 3 in Washington to start the season.
Well, that's the big thing about it, is that as you go through a season, especially against your main nemesis that you struggled against the last really 3 years, is that you want that big horse in that rubber game to get the job done. And Matt Harvey, this won't be the first of many rubber games that he'll have to pitch, but he came through today in just glorious form.
Well, the Mets banged out 10 hits today, and it was spread around. It was a team effort. The only guy hitless today was Lucas Duda. Everybody contributed with the 10 hits and the 6 runs. Remember, 3 of those runs were unearned with the error from Desmond. The Mets will take it. More important.